Hey guys, Deer coming at you once again with another stream. I guess anybody who's watching will notice that I wasn't speaking apparently. Yes I was, it's just I obviously forgot to check that my microphone was working, which it was not. It just sometimes likes to say, oh no, it's currently unavailable, despite that, well yes it is, it's plugged in, you stupid thing. But yeah, so anybody who's watching on YouTube, you haven't missed much. I literally was in Nimbasa, took down Ingo and Emmett. They had a Chandelure and an Electros level 32. Moved over to the Desert Resort, taking down some fights that I missed previously. Got a Green Shard to the south and fought Psychic Future here, who had a Chingling, a Chimecho and a Boltoy. Also got the TM for Bulldoze, which was right here, and that's where we left off. So, I'm just running through all the battles I didn't do in the Desert Resort, as I cut them off to go fight Elasa, and then we're going to be heading on to Route 16, then on to Route 5, and then to Driftveil, where we will be taking down the gym. I'm hoping not to get any higher than level 46. 47 is not exactly the end of the world, but I don't really want to be going any higher than that. I shouldn't really be going higher than that, to be honest, but this next gym is going to be a tough one. Really is, because obviously I'm weak to ground moves. And there's a Nidoking hanging around, which I think carries Fire Blast. So I also need to be wary of that, especially considering it's probably going to have Sheer Force. So there is a few issues with the next gym, but this is going to be the only gym that's really going to be causing me too many issues. The final gym is also a bit of an annoyance. The main problems I'm going to have are with the main story battles. So against Zinzalin is going to be a tough one, although he does mainly carry Ice type, so it shouldn't be too bad, because I'm probably going to have Fire Punch, and I'm definitely going to have Iron Head, so it shouldn't be too bad. And then also I'm going to have Internet Explorer here and Getsis, who does have a Genesect. That's what I was going to say, but I said it by mistake. Yeah, so he will have a Genesect, which does carry Flamethrower, and also he has that Hydreigon, which I'm not fond of, which also carries Fire Blast, but it shouldn't be too much of a deal, because I will have access to Drain Punch, which I can get in Humalo City. So if it matters that much, I can go get Drain Punch, but I shouldn't need it. I think I will suffice with Zen Headbutt, Iron Head, no, I think I'm going to keep Psychic. I think Psychic is what I'm keeping, just so I can attack from both ends of the spectrum, just in case I come against something like an Aloe Momola. But yeah, so Psychic, not Zen Headbutt, shut up. Psychic, Iron Head, Ice Punch, and then interchange the final move. For the Getsis fight, it's got to be Fire Punch. But then for things like the fight against what's his face, Marlon, I'm obviously going to need Thunder Punch. But obviously Jirachi's moveset is good enough that I can change things around and be able to fight against whatever I need to. He'll learn a Grass type move for the Seismitoad, which I'm going to end up fighting, as well as Ice Punch, Fire Punch and Thunder Punch, which is basically all I need. I don't need anything else. So from that, I mean, there are a lot of Pokemon I could have used for this solo run. The problem is that something was either weak to Bug, or it was weak to Poison, or struggled against Poison, I should say, or it was weak to Water. Water was not necessarily a big deal. I didn't necessarily plan to do this on challenge mode, it just kind of happened, as anybody who watched the first episode is well aware. But I was wary about the Masquerain the Bug Gym who had what's it called? Bubble Beam. Had Scold in challenge mode, and also in challenge mode there was the Rain Dancing Excelgor, and then in the Nimbasa Gym, no, I do not want to go in there. In the Nimbasa Gym there was the Lantern with Hydro Pump. In normal mode it also had Ice Beam, but luckily it was a more defensive set in the thingy challenge mode, which was good really, although that Hydro Pump was still pretty strong. Having said that, what's it called? What the hell's that Pokemon called? Luxray. That thing's Fire Fang hit pretty hard. And obviously I was only like 4 levels higher, and it had Fire Fang that was super effective, and he had an Expert Belt. So it was a tough move to take, but Jirachi managed. So Diglett and Dugtrio, nothing to worry about there. Should probably be heading up to level 44 soon. There is a double battle around here, but I'm not going to be able to fight in it. So I've got to be quite tactical about what Pokemon I catch. Obviously I'm not going to have any limits because this isn't a Nuzlocke. But I would technically like to catch Pokemon which I am likely to actually use. I don't want to have to be depositing stuff, because I need to catch stuff for the fight against Charles, because I need to fight him to get through the game, and I'm almost certain that I need 3 Pokemon. I don't think I'm going to be able to fight him at all if I just have Jirachi. So, to get through I am going to have 3 Pokemon. I'm also thinking there was another instance where I'm going to need 3 Pokemon. I cannot for the life of me think where it is. That's going to annoy the hell out of me. There was another instance, I mentioned it in the last episode, where I'm going to need 3 Pokemon to get past. It's gone. I do have the fight against Skylar to worry about, which is a challenge mode, which is a triple battle in challenge mode. I'm not sure how I want to deal with that. I'm not sure whether I want to just go in there with 3 Pokemon, let the 2 Pokemon on either side faint, and then just barrel on through with Jirachi, because I'm positive that Jirachi can just get through with not many issues. She should, or he, whatever, he should be okay to get through the flying type gym. I don't think there's a fire flying in there, so it should be okay. I shouldn't need to worry about it at all. But there is a Gliscor. There is a Gliscor, so there is that to be worried about. Either way though, I think Jirachi can take 3 hits at a time. I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep Wish. I was rethinking that, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep Wish or not, because Wish could have its uses. Not many uses, but it could have some uses. As well as also the fact that what else was there? Oh yeah, I preferably want to keep Swift because of the possibility of running into Pokemon like Pawniard. There's obviously I cannot fight something like that, or Houndour. I don't want to be fighting Houndour and Houndoom with Grass Knot, because that's not going to do anything. I will push that Boulder, but obviously there is Pokemon I can catch around here. Hello, Lysmith. Yeah, I'm getting quite far. This is turning out to be more of a speed run than anything else. But what can we catch here? Solosis, Gothita, Stunky, Glameow, Pineco, Minchino, Pawniard, Drowsy, Timpole. Yeah, none of those Pokemon really jump out to me. Losslawn Forest, Combee, Execute, Murkrow, Misdreavus, Slackoth, Roselia, Heracross, Pinsir, Scyther, and Carnivine. Scyther's jumping out to me because it can learn both Cut and Strength, I think. Gonna double check that. I don't think any of the other Pokemon are gonna learn any more HMs than that. Obviously, I would appreciate something like a ducklet, which I can catch on the Driftfell drawbridge, but obviously I need to wait to get that. Fight me. Then I'm just going to check Scyther. It's obviously not going to learn anything more than that, which kind of sucks. I will have a quick look at Route 5 as well. Oh, we can only learn Cut. Okay. Not so good then. Peplup. We can just go for a nice Psychic. Right, so on Route 5 we have access to Solosis, Gothita, Ponyta, Doduo, Blitzle, Natu, Plusle, Mine and Fungus, Munchlax, Stantler, Farfetch'd, Miltank, Tauros, Pachirisu and Smeargle. Smeargle would be nice, but obviously it's finding a Pokemon who can use Cut, Fly, Surf, Strength. Not gonna happen. Possibly also thinking that I want to get head all the way back to Route what's the route? Route 19 and catch a Bidoof and get that straight up to a B-Barrel, because a B-Barrel would be perfect. Just going to run through the Lost Lawn Forest. There's not very much here. There's a few trainers here and there, and the all-important TM for Grass Knot, which I definitely need. But apart from that, there isn't much else that's buzzing around that I really need. I'm thinking that Farfetch'd to be quite good. I'm pretty sure it learns Cut. I think it definitely learns Fly. And I'm almost certain it learns Strength as well. I hadn't thought of Krabby. Krabby is available in Buster, Verbank. And I'm just going to take a quick look at Farfetch'd, because I imagine... yeah, I know about Tropius, but I can't catch Tropius yet. Tropius is not available for quite a while. I only learned Cut and Fly. I want more than that. I'm gonna do this a different way. Alright, so moving on while here. Gen 5 moveset calculator. Cerebi is a miracle worker. Let's have a look. Cut, Fly, Strength. Let's just go with those for now. Pseudo Widow, Charizard, Dragonite, Mew, Tropius, Salamence, Giratina, Arceus, Rufflet and Braviary. Rufflet and Braviary. I can catch Rufflet around. I think the only Pokemon of that entire list that can also learn Surf is Dragonite. Yeah, Dragonite, Mew, Arceus and Smeargle. I don't think I can catch a Dratini yet, but I will go get myself a Rufflet. Rufflet would be pretty good. Togetic. Let's just go for a Psychic. I think I can catch Rufflet on Route 4. Either that or it's the Desert Resort, I can't remember. It's one of the two. Yeah, Desert Resort outside. So yeah, I will go catch myself a Rufflet once I am done here. There's very little I actually need to do. Murkrow. You were almost a Pokemon I used. Trouble was, you were weak to rock. Not quick enough. So you would have very much struggled with the 7th gym. Which is a shame, because I love Honchkrow. It's such a cool Pokemon. I mean, I do kind of regret using a legendary Pokemon, but as I said, this is a tough game to get through, and Jirachi is good. Jirachi is an interesting Pokemon. I tried to go against Pokemon that are always seen in solo runs. So we're talking about the typical Pokemon such as Tyranitar, Dragonite, Metagross, Salamence, Garchomp, and, well, not really Hydreigon, but those are the main ones. I want also Flygon as well. I seem to see Flygon a lot. they're just not Pokemon I want to use because they're predictable. I wanted to be a bit unpredictable, which is why I wanted to use Tornadus, because Tornadus is a cool Pokemon, it's got great stats, got a great move pool, and it would have done pretty well for me. But as I said, the only problem is that it was going to really struggle against the 4th gym, which was an all-important one. It was the 3rd and 4th that mattered the most. It would have been pretty good, but it would not have been able to muscle through Elasa at all. Like, at least with Jirachi's stab moves, she can, or he, whatever, he can get through Pokemon that like electric types, because electric types are notoriously difficult to get through unless you've got a ground type move. So yeah, he did well. He did well in the 4th gym. I was happy with the results. Got to be wary of that trainer there. He uses a Heracross. Anything in the Hidden Grotto? Ooh, a Grovyle. Me like it, Grovyle. Could have done with that, my Nuzlocke. But here we are, Grass Knot. Absolutely do need that. Still considering what I want to put on my moveset for that. I don't know what Charles has anymore. Obviously before he had a Sigilif, a Cockorock and a Tortuga, so it would be very beneficial to have Grass Knot, but yeah, he does not have those anymore. I'm almost certain he does not carry those Pokemon anymore. So, a bit iffy about that. I'm not sure if I want to put Grass Knot on at all. I probably should, but it's just thinking about where I want to put that move. Swift is a bit too valuable for the possibility that I may come across a Dark type. It's not going to matter too much, considering as soon as I get to Driftvale City I can just wipe my entire moveset clean and just put whatever I want on. The only move I will be keeping is Psychic. I will keep Grass Knot, obviously, for the gym, but after that I will be putting on Iron Head, as Iron Head will be an essential move for Jirachi's success. Alright, so I think we're done here. There was absolutely nothing else I needed to do there, and I'm actually not as high level as I thought I would have got to, so that's a bonus. I'm going to head back to the Desert Resort. I should have done this initially, and then I'm going to pick myself up a Rufflet. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. 10% chance, not too shabby. And then we will be heading straight onto Route 5. We do have a battle with Hugh looming and Team Plasma. Again, there's the possibility of them using a Houndour or Houndoom, so I don't really want to be running in without Swift at this point. Lullaby. Why could you not be a Rufflet? Ooh, actually, speaking of which, do I have any Pokeballs? Oh, actually, I should do. I think I've got the 30 that I had initially. Oh, I've got plenty. And I've got some Quick Balls. Bonus. Right, yeah, so let's have a look for this Rufflet. Shouldn't take too long. 1 in 10. I found a Lullaby straight away. Okay. Cacnea. Another 10% chance one. Okay. I think I will consider doing another solo run at some stage. I don't know what game I'll do it on. I'm considering Heart Gold, but the problem is that the Heart Gold ROM that I have has a terrible trait of crashing just randomly. Obviously, I don't really want to be running through streams and then it will eventually go onto YouTube videos where I'm constantly having to reset my software and also hoping that I saved beforehand, because I've tried to get through 5% chance. I want 10%. I've been trying to get through Heart Gold and it just crashes all the time. I mean, you can usually predict when it's gonna crash, but even then you sometimes forget to save for a long time. And it's just awful. So I'm not sure. I've also got my the LP I've been talking about for God knows how many months. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, which I am looking forward to doing, and I'm going to be starting that soon. I'm not sure how long this... My silly cat's got his claw caught in my sheet. Silly Billy, and that's his name. Learn something new every day. And there's your Ellie, already knew that. Well, the Gen 4 ROMs usually work out quite well. I've had, I did initially have some issues with Platinum when I first started out, but they faded. I changed to, I think I was still on No Cash GBA at that stage, and then afterwards I switched to No Cash Zuma for Black and White 2. Yeah, Platinum hasn't been too bad, and also, except for one small glitch to do with saving, Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky was perfect to run. Had absolutely no issues, no graphical issues, was perfect. So I can't wait to get through that game, because it's such an interesting game, it's such a different spin on how to play through the game, and I'm not going to be running through with just one Pokemon all the time. I'm going to have lots of different Pokemon I can be using. Which is good, because it means that I can use Pokemon that I've never used before. And also there are a lot of Pokemon in the game that are actually a lot better in the Mystery Dungeon games. For example, Pokemon like Cacturn, I used a Cacturn for quite a long time, because it was just so good. It did everything I needed it to do. I can't remember who I used. I think I used, Rufflet. I think I'm going to be using the exact same duo that I ran through the first time I ever played the game, which is going to be Riolu and Phanpy. Quick ball. Because they worked out so well, and they didn't share any common weaknesses, and they were good enough to not be dying to Porygon 2 and Porygon Z's Discharge. They used to really wind me up in Temporal Tower. But yeah, so they were good. I really liked using those Pokemon. I'm not going to give you a nickname. I can't remember what level Rufflet evolves in this game, but I don't think I'm going to kick him up into gear. I think I'm just going to give him cut strength, and then it will be ended up being Fly as well. And I will keep him. And then I think I will just pick something up on Route 5. Whatever I encounter, I'll just throw a quick ball at, and then just run with it. I'm running back because there is one trainer I missed out on, and I must deal with that. There's also a TM as well, for payback. I'll keep Aerial Ace, why not? And I'll keep Wing Attack as well. No, Home Claws, that's what I meant to say, Home Claws. I was thinking to get rid of Wing Attack, not keep it. Right. Got to be careful of them, because I shouldn't technically be fighting them. I literally have I'm going to have 3 Pokemon to fight Charles, and that is it. I'm going to make doubly sure that they faint in the fight, because there is a double battle hanging around in that same area, and I'm almost certainly going to run into it. Any triple battles I will come across from that point onwards, I will simply let the Pokemon faint, because they should not be fighting. Or I'll use setup moves, that may be a better option. I'll keep Home Claws around, Home Claws will be good. They're going to be sitting ducks, or sitting eaglets in Rufflet's case, while I do things with Jirachi, because Jirachi is the main player here. Alright, TM66, payback. I don't need that at all, but it's there anyway. I'm way too fast for payback, and I don't think I can even learn it, so there we go. Okay, moving swiftly on here. I need to go heal, big time. I'm going to try and avoid Hugh for just a moment, because I'm going to need to get me some power points. I seem to remember one of these trainers does have a Pawniard, which which is always frustrating. But it's not long so I can finally get my hands on some good moves. At that point I will then get rid of Wish. But I keep Wish for now, just in case. Just in case something happens. Particularly since I don't really have much in the way of healing items currently. I haven't bothered to buy anything because I'm going to be getting Moo Moo Milks in the next town. Payback doesn't have negative priority. It's great on some Pokemon. I will admit, I used a Conkeldurr in my Black 2 LP, and it had Payback, and it was amazing. It was an amazing move choice because it's so slow. It's slow enough to use Payback, and it needs the dark coverage. It really does. And also, a Pokemon like Scraggy here, obviously it's better with Crunch, but Payback is another welcome move for it. This is also another Pokemon that could do with Swift rather than Grass Knot. But yeah, Payback's obviously it's a good move, but obviously you have to be tactical about what Pokemon to use it on. Jirachi here is not an obvious choice. I don't think Jirachi even learns it, but even if he did, it's not the kind of Pokemon I would give Payback to, because not only is he has he got coverage that he doesn't need to use it, yeah, he can't learn it, he is far too quick for it, so it's easy enough just not to bother. Alright, Magneton. And I'm still not sure if it's Magneton or Magneton, but I interchange, really. Just go, oh yeah, Magneton, Magneton, whatever. Either way, it is out of here. Scoopy will not be liking my Psychic type moves whatsoever. Doesn't really matter what I go for, considering Hugh will be healing me at the end of this. I do put up a good fight, thank you for saying. Now obviously some of you may be thinking, hang on a minute, your levels are getting far too high here. Like, you should be level 45 when you get to like the 8th gym, roughly, a little bit before that. Well, there is a higher level curve in this game, much higher, for a start, and also one Pokemon. But I think also, what's good about doing this in Gen 5 is that I can actually not over-level so much because of the fact that I'm using a Pokemon with a slow experience gain, plus also the fact that the experience gain is proportionate to your level and the level of the Pokemon that you're fighting. It means that you're not going to be getting so much experience as you would be in a different game. I always personally like that because it meant that you could gain a lot of experience if you were a low level, but then still manage to get enough to get by when you're a higher level. Most people didn't like that feature of Gen 5. I thought it was a good feature, I liked it. But yeah, they removed it in Gen 6. Which was a shame, because I did prefer it that way. It was also especially good for training against Ordino. Particularly when you're training a Pokemon from level 1. But either way, I took it out. I have to sit back and marvel in Gen 5 where I can actually use it to my advantage. But either way, we're all done here. Almost level 46, so we're getting close to the boundary. I don't actually have to fight any of the trainers on Route 5, but obviously I'm going to. As much as I can. Charles is first. Actually, I've just thought. I have to catch another Pokemon, and I'm going to be forced into the Hidden Grotto on Route 5 with, what's her face? Oh, actually, I've just thought of something. I never fought Flannery. that I can right there. Oh, actually, hang on. What am I doing? I don't need to wait for there to be a game. I can just go straight out here. Is she here, or is it in Big Stadium? It's in Big Stadium. I don't think I will fight her, to be honest, but she's going to be in Big Stadium in the upper deck level area, whatever. I'm just going to check Munchlax's catch rate, because I really want to just use a quick ball against something, then that's it. I don't want to have to be wasting all my time catching this fat blob while I'm wanting to go further on in the game. I can't even find Munchlax on the Pokédex. Found it. Right. What is your catch rate? 50. That's not high enough. So yeah, I'll just ignore this thing and jump straight out into the grass, catch something, get out. Also, Snorlax is another Pokemon that a lot of people tend to use for a solo run. I mean, it is a pretty good Pokemon. Certainly bulky enough. Certainly able to take hits, has tons of coverage. I didn't really want to use a normal type, or else I would have used Ursaring, because Ursaring is my... yeah, it's my favourite normal type. So I did plan to use it. Oh no, it's not. No, it's my second favourite. Alright, so we're catching Gothita. Cool. But yeah, so I didn't actually plan to use a normal type, but it kind of fell into place when I was thinking, oh yeah, well, actually, Ursaring has everything that I need. It's not weak to bug, it's not weak to water, it's not weak to poison, it's not weak to electric, and it's going to be able to barrel on through any Pokemon it comes against, except for the Escavalier that was in the Bug Gym. But then, when I get to Driftveil, it will be able to learn all the elemental punches, plus Seed Bomb for Clay, and then it will also be able to learn Night Slash and Crunch, and then also Close Combat as well. So it was just perfect. But then I didn't really want to use it because the problem was that I was going to end up using a very boring moveset, which would have been either Return off a Star, depending on what I opted to go for, or I would have ended up getting... crap, what's that other move? I've forgotten. But then I would have also... whatever normal type move, and then I would have had Crunch and Close Combat or Cross Chop or something, and that's just a boring moveset. Like, normal Dark Fighting is perfect for coverage, it's just so boring. Like, I can't stand that coverage at all. And then obviously I could have just opted for like Swords Dance or whatever else. Swords Dance or Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, whatever I wanted for the final slot. But it's just boring, I just can't be bothered with that coverage, it's just dull. So I opted not to go with Ursaring. Kinda regret it, but yeah, you know. Jirachi was a good choice. Oh, this is a rotation battle. Why did I not think of that before? Alright, well this makes things a lot easier. I've got to have 3 Pokemon, but I will be using Jirachi and Jirachi only. They will obviously gain experience, but so what? Sigilyph, Excelgor and Krokorok, so only 1 Pokemon taken out. I think regardless of the Sigilyph, I'm just going to Zen Headbutt everything. Maybe not, I just noticed that Krokorok thing there. Let's just go for Swift. And here comes the Krokorok now. Would have been nice to one-shot that thing. Just gonna go for a Wish. There's nothing else I can do at this stage, so I may as well just heal some health. Because obviously this dig is going to do a fair amount. I'm thinking he's gonna probably switch around. Yeah. Regardless of that, I think Swift is obviously the safest play, because I don't want to go for a Zen Headbutt and then, wow, that didn't do anything. And then you go into the Krokorok. I guess actually it's not going to matter. If he goes into the Krokorok, then... No, I'm just going to keep swifting. Ugh. Yeah, I really need to get rid of that Krokorok now. Thank you for switching it in. Now I can just Zen Headbutt. I don't think that Sigilif carries Reflect. I don't think. Yeah. Lovely. Right, well, provided there's no misses, I will have won this. What's good about having 3 Pokemon is the fact that it's going to be shared experience, so I'm not going to be gaining very much from this. So it's going to be better for fighting Clay. Well done for outspeeding that Exceldor. Oh fine, you can have Psyshock. It has Recover, that's good enough for me. I will not be keeping, because I'll probably end up catching some sort of a water type so I can have Surf and Waterfall. And Dive as well. And then I'll be covered for HMs. So I just need to find a Pokemon who can learn all those moves. I'm not going to need Dive, but may as well get it, I guess. Alright, so we're pretty much all done here, but I may as well fight the trainers. How are we doing for experience? Alright, so one more Pokemon and I'll get up to level 46. I think I'm just going to go straight to Driftveil, because obviously I've got to take on, what's his face? Gorm, in front of the church area. So, I need to do that. And then we'll see where we are. Yeah, any water type will do. It doesn't really matter. I could catch Ducklet, but I don't think it can learn. I don't think it can learn Waterfall, if I remember correctly. I think it can only learn Surf, which I'm now checking. But yeah, just Surf and Dive. That's fine, but I need a Waterfall. Waterfall is definitely a thing. Alright, so we're in Driftveil now. I can go get my TMs. Well, not TMs, they're just moves. But first of all, I need to jump into the Pokemon Center and I need to get some shards, which are sold right here. I'm going to need 24, so I'll buy those. I'm going to have Fly at my disposal, so I'll just come back for when I want other TMs, but really this is the only one I'm going to come to. There's a possibility of me wanting Stealth Rock for the aftergame, but for right now this is all I want. I absolutely need I don't need Iron Head yet. I need Ice Punch, and I need Fire Punch. I'm going to get rid of Wish at this stage. And then I'm going to get myself Fire Punch. I will get Iron Head, but I don't need it for the gym. I need the moves Zen Head. No, I'm going to keep Psychic. Psychic, it won't matter, to be honest. Well, I should get Zen Headbutt. Yeah, by the time I'm going to need Psychic back, I will have access to the move relearner, so I'm just going to keep Zen Headbutt for now, as it will be stronger. And then I'll have Grass Knot, Fire Punch and Ice Punch. And then after that, I'll get Psychic back and then put on Iron Head. And then I will probably put on Thunder Punch when I get to Skylar, as Thunder Punch will come in useful for that Swanna that is hovering around, so I will be mindful of that. But yeah, we should be good. Should be good. I don't think I'm gonna... Well, to be honest, I'm not exactly going to need both of those moves right now. I'm going to put on Grass Knot right now. I may as well. If you just got this game, well, I don't... Do you mean Blaze Black 2 or do you mean Black 2? Because well, to be honest, you don't really need a starter. But in this game, absolutely Oshawott. Oshawott is the best. It turns into a phenomenal Pokemon at the end. And it becomes water fighting. It'll get Sacred Sword and Secret Sword. Water moves, ice moves, bug moves, everything you need. But if you've got Blaze Black 2, then you don't necessarily need to have a starter because you can use whatever you want. If you're in the main game, starter's useful, but again, you don't necessarily need it. We're all good. Yeah, if you want Black 2, then don't pick Snivy. Just whichever you want, but don't pick Snivy because Snivy is quite tough to raise. Quite tough to raise indeed. It is better in Blaze Black 2, Livesmith, you're right. The problem is though, is that it's still got incredibly lousy stats for the entirety of the first few areas of the game, and also you have to wait a long time for Leaf Storm. As well as that, Leaf Storm doesn't have very much power points. You will have access to Draco Meteor later on in the game because it becomes Grass Dragon, which isn't necessarily a great typing either because you lose your resistance to fire. Well, okay. As a dragon you lose your resistance to fire, and you become quad weak to ice, you become weak to dragon, and his defences leave a lot to be desired anyway, so yeah, Black 2, either Oshawott or Tepig. They're both great Pokemon, either you can use. I'd probably recommend Oshawott over Tepig because there are a lot of good fire types and a lot of good fighting types. And a lot of them are better than Emboar in the end. So Oshawott is generally the best option for both games, to be honest. So good, well-rounded Pokemon with a lot of power and a lot of good moves. So anyway, we're fighting Gorm here. I've been intimidated, but still 2-hit KOing this Bufalon here. Took down the Stoutland, and then also we have something else. Swoobat. Well, I have a newfound Ice Punch for you, Mr. Swoobat. Boom. Even with the lowered attack, I'm still taking you down in one shot. Yeah, I'm not going to do Route 5. I'm going to pretend that route didn't... Well, okay, it did happen, obviously. But I'm just not going to fight any of the trainers on it because I don't want to get too high in levels. Frankly, I went a lot higher in the Elacer fight than I was expecting. Alright, so no problem. Ask as many questions as you like. What should you catch? Well, you'll probably want a second Pokemon before the first gym. You'll have a lot of good options. I'm going to deposit that Zorua because I'm forced into it. There's a lot of good Pokemon. Some good Pokemon to use include Riolu, which you can catch on the Flocusy Ranch. You can also catch Lillipup there as well. They're both good Pokemon. On Route 20 you can catch Seawaddle. That's another great one. What else is around? Don't catch anything on Route 19. They're both useless Pokemon. You'll only have access to Purloin and Patrat. They're both useless. But yeah, Riolu and Lillipup are your best bets. And then Seawaddle's another good one. Trying to think what else there is. Yeah, Mareep. Mareep's another good one. I recommend Mareep a little less because there are better electric types later on, such as Tynamo, but yeah, Mareep's good. Those 4 Pokemon Lysmith recommended there are great choices. When might you want a third Pokemon? For Route 4, if you didn't end up picking Tepig, if you picked Oshawott, a good Pokemon to catch up around Route 4 is Darumaka. Darumakas are a fantastic Pokemon. It will turn into one of the most powerful fire types ever. Sheer Force boosted Flare Blitz is crazy strong. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different Pokemon, and there aren't any massively bad Pokemon in Gen 5, really. There's nothing that, if you catch it, you're going to go, oh, damn, I should have caught something else. Everything has its charms, and with the move tutors, there's a lot of better moves. Pikachu, however, is not in Gen 5. Neither is Raichu. So, unfortunately, Mr. Mascot is not in Unova at all. Boltoy. This thing has an Ice Punch with its name on it. Geodude. Not going to take too much, but I think I'm going to go for Grass Knot because it's obviously got Sturdy. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Dumb thing. What did that accomplish? 250 power and it did that much. My lefties is healing it all back. Silly, silly, silly. Right, back to Ice Punch. Ugh, I hate that stupid flying brat. It can be a threat if you hack in some better stats for it. It's not. I don't think it's that great of a Pokemon. It's alright, but every single other electric type in Gen 5 outclasses it, so... Particularly the likes of Ampharos, Electros and Galvantula. All of them miles better than Emolga. There probably are a couple of other electric types I'm missing. But those are the ones that pop into my mind. Right, I know exactly where to go in this gym to go fight Clay. However, if I fight the trainers, it's wasted experience, so may as well. Obviously, I'm not forced into anything. After this guy, I can go straight to Clay. Ooh, Marshtomp. You have some tripping over to do there, Marshtomp. Pilotwine also has a Grass Knot coming its way. Quagsire also has a Grass Knot coming. Lots of water grounds here. Me likey. And finally, Gligar. Right, so I'm tempted to go straight to Clay. But to be honest, I think either way I'm going to end up getting over leveled. To be honest. There's a guy with a Nidoking and a Nidoqueen. I do want some challenges in this fight. I'm gonna... Whoops. I meant to go up there. Yeah, I can see everything is own. I'm gonna go straight to clay. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't think I've taken any damage. Nope. I think we're good. Obviously, it is a bit flawed to leave out that crucial experience, but regardless, I'm just going to go straight into clay. Hello, name I'm not going to try and pronounce, but yeah, enjoy watching. Yeah, so I'm going to fight clay. I'm not going to even bother with the rest of the trainers. Bring it on. Alright, so challenge mode, clay. I've got the wrong document open. We're dealing with a crocodile, I know that much. Oh, Hippowdon, okay. Same difference. It's crocodile in the normal mode. Alright, let's have a look. What have we got? What have we got? Hippowdon, Pasho Berry, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Fire Fang, and Thunder Fang. Alright, well, Grass not to kick things off here. Ooh, hello. Alright, you did a bit better there than I thought. As opposed to that, which did an absolute ton. Okay, well none of his Pokemon should be outspeeding me, to be honest. Oh, actually, except for the Excadrill. Ooh, okay, problem. That's a time when I wish I still had Wish. Okay, so I'm going to be outspeeding this Hippowdon and killing it. Yes, it is Blaze Black too. Yes, annoying. Nidoking switch, I would imagine. Oh, Gullet, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, the Nidoking doesn't have Fire Punch. Not Fire Punch, Flamethrower. So Golurk here. Grass Knot is the safest play. I think it might not knock it out though. Ah, shit. This Earthquake is going to hurt. Probably going to KO me, to be honest. Yep, okay, I think I do need those other trainers to fight. Yep, I know. Soundstream with Excadrill is pretty lethal. UK time, I should be streaming till about midnight, so probably another hour-ish. Alright, well I am going to fight those other trainers. I need a bit more bulk, to be honest. I'm tempted to put Reflect on. What mood do I not need the most here? I need Psychic. I really need Fire Punch for that Excadrill. I need Grass Knot for everything else. I guess I don't need Ice Punch. I think I have Light Screen. I think I have Light Screen. The not the Excadrill. The Nidoking should not be too much trouble, because I should be outspeeding it and slamming it with a Zen Headbutt, which should KO it. What have I come in here for again? But yeah, I'm going to go grab Reflect. I think that would help. Just obviously, someone remind me before I fight Clay that I need to put Reflect on my Jirachi. Alright, so I'm going to go kill those... lovely. Ooh, Expert Belt. That could be an interesting item choice. That may end up being better, because then I could just about get that extra power on the Hippowdon and Golurk and be able to one-shot them. Yeah, that would be better. I'll put the Expert Belt on, because I'm not going to be needing to take much. So I'm going to go grab Reflect. Yeah, I can't remember what I had Ice Punch for. I think it was generally for most of them, but I've obviously figured that I'm using thingy a lot more. Oh, while I'm here, I'm just going to buy 10 more shards, because I'm going to end up forgetting. So, I'll get rid of Ice Punch for now. And then... we will see. I may do 2 streams, we'll see. I have to do my streams in 2-hour blocks because I upload them to YouTube afterwards. And if they're longer than 2 hours, then I can't upload them, which is just lovely. So we'll see how things go. But I get the feeling you're enjoying, or you're enjoying me asking me questions. It's either or, you know, could be either. Need to grab reflect, and then I will be heading over to... Shit. I knew I was going to do that. You heard me. Even well before this, I said, I know I'm going to fight that double battle by accident. And here we are. Ugh. Right, plus or minus. It doesn't matter, really. Alright, send headbutt on the Minun, and we want the home claws. Yep, it's solo, but I don't need HMs yet, anyway. I need a Pokemon with strength for Victory Road. I need that much. Apart from that, I don't need any other HMs to get through the game, so I don't need my other 2 Pokemon right now. The reason I got the 2 Pokemon now is because I needed to fight Charles, and Charles is a triple or rotation battle, and 3 Pokemon are needed. So to proceed, I needed another 2 Pokemon. Hello, cool dude. It's no problem. My streams are not usually this active, so go be as active as you want. I don't mind. Right, so need to grab reflect, and then I need to head over to Drifell again, and I'm going to fight those trainers. Obviously, don't need to rare candy or anything, but right, I need to get myself reflect. Not going to bother with it yet. I've got lots of healing items. I've got plenty of Castalia cones, and I've got plenty of Moo milk. Surf is needed. I don't think there is a single time in the game where you do actually need Surf. You do need strength, because you need strength to get to your Victory Road. But I don't think you need Surf anywhere. I think Surf is literally for extra stuff. Yeah, I've gone through Black 2 a million times and I still don't remember. I remember very intricate things like when a Pokemon learns a certain move and what moves Pokemon can learn, but I don't remember where I need to use something. Going the wrong way! Even just then. I keep thinking that the gym is on the ledge. Why is it? It's not on the ledge at all. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Let us head down and take down the trainers that are further, not down there. I need to go down here. Up. Up again. Left. Up. Left. We're okay for health. Yeah, we're fine. Down. And down. And this guy has a Nidoking and a Nidoqueen. So obviously I've got to watch out for Earth Power, but I should be okay. Should be okay. Good choice. What is the best one to go for? Alright, well, one hit KOing the Nidoking, King, rather, which is good. Actually, second thinking, I probably should over-level slightly. Not necessarily for this gym, but for the gym against Skylar. If it's going to be a triple battle, I need to be taking 3 hits every time. Obviously, I'll be outspeeding everything, but and probably one hit KOing whatever I fight, since I'll have both Ice Punch and Thunder Punch, not Fire Punch. Ice Punch and Thunder Punch, so I should easily be KOing whatever looks at me the wrong way. But either way, I need to be taking hits. And I'm pretty sure... Well, she has a Togekiss that I think has a Fire-type move. She has a Gliscor, which obviously has Earthquake. Oh, speak of the devil. Yeah, I do need to watch what I need to watch what level I go to for that gym. Probably will end up at level 49 for Clay though. Can we out... Wow, okay, well done Millennium. Really wasn't expecting to one-shot that, to be honest. Darkness is... There's no darkness here, I'm afraid. This is the joy of emulators. They don't always work the way you want them to. Oh well, I know my way through this gym. I've been through this gym too many times. I know exactly where I'm going. So, regardless of the darkness or not, I know where I'm going. Alright, Marowak. There should be no trouble. The good thing about this gym is the fact that because every single Pokemon carries a move that I'm weak to, it does actually mean that there's a possibility that, oh no, I'm thinking of Gen 6. I'm in the state of mind that weather doesn't last the entire time anymore, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be permanent. I guess obviously for that reason I could go back and get a weather move. Because after that Hippowdon's dead, none of his Pokemon carry Sandstorm. So I could do that, I guess, but I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I need all of my moves. I'm going to need Reflect. I definitely need my stab move for that Nidoking. I'm going to need Fire Punch for the Excadrill, because every other move is, well, Ice Punch is not going to be powerful enough. Zen Headbutt's not going to do enough. So I definitely need to keep all of my moves handy. But yeah, obviously I could go back and pack a weather move if I needed to. Okay. Backwards we go. And there's 2 more battles in this place. Oh crap, I've gone the wrong way. I don't want to go to Clay yet. I want to be going down there. And whoops, don't even know where the hell I'm going anymore. Okay, fine, I'll go this way, this is fine. You're one of those Eevee users, are you? Everyone uses Eevee. I think, how many times have I used Eevee? Ever. I've used a Vaporeon in Fire Red. I've used a Leafeon in Blaze Black 2. And I've used an Espeon in Black 2. But I think that's it. I don't tend to bother with the evolutions because I don't tend to like them very much. Glaceon is my favourite. It's easily the best. Oh, actually, I have used Glaceon before, actually. I used Glaceon in Blaze Black 2 as well. Glaceon's my favourite. No question whatsoever. Such a cool Pokemon. Sylveon's cool as well. But then again, if I look at Gen 6 as a whole and all the other fairy types, I'm just like, well, I'd rather use Florges, to be honest. Or Florges or Florges or whatever the hell it is. There are a billion pronunciations for everything nowadays. But yeah, so adaptability, eh? I never remember whether that's the hidden ability or it's the other one. So anticipation, that's the hidden ability. Adaptability is the regular ability. Yeah, it's this way I want to go. Up here, and then there's a fight here. Okay. Whiscash. Another candidate for my Grass Knot. Oh, interesting. Haven't heard of anyone not bothering to evolve their Eevee before. Guess it's one tactic. Camerupt. Oh, I wish I had a water type move right now. Yeah. Clopitas. I think Ice Punch is the better play here. And a Cockrock. Still Ice Punch. Yeah, I guess, you know, it's good enough. Of course, if you really want some power, then you would take that over to Gen 6, where you can get yourself a Sylveon, who can learn Hyper Voice with the Pixelate ability, if you give it its hidden ability, and then it'll be doing 30% more with its power, because of its ability, plus it will get Stab, plus it will get just 90 power generally. So it'll be 90 power, powered up by 30%, plus also powered up by 50%. So strong move. Alright, hello, mister. My favourite legendary of all time is Shaymin. Shaymin and Skymin are definitely amazing Pokemon. Followed closely behind is Tornadus in Therian form. Right, I'm going to heal. Do I need to... I don't need power points, do I? Nah, we're good. Yeah, it's a good... it's a great Pokemon. Oh, reflect. Nobody reminded me, I asked you and you didn't bother. Right, okay. Millennium, you need reflect. Let's get rid of Ice Punch. That may come back and bite me in the arse, but it should be okay. I've got this lemonade that needs using. Alright. Let us save. I don't really know why, but we're saving anyway. Alright, Clay. Bring it on. Alright, again. Let's see how this goes. Hippowdon, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Fire Fang, and Thunder Fang. I can't remember what the first legendary I ever caught was. I think it was Ho-Oh. I had Gold as my first ever Pokemon game. The one I remember most was Kyogre. I did have a... It's not worth it against this thing. Yeah, my first ever legendary that I think it was my first ever Pokemon I trained to level 100 was Kyogre in my Sapphire. Healing Wish, what a completely useless move when I'm on a solo run. Golurk. Again, I'm not sticking up the Reflect yet, there's not much point. I'm hoping that he sends out the I'm hoping he sends out the Nidoking next. He probably won't, to be honest. Crocodile. Okay. I'm gonna set up the Reflect now because a Grass Knot is not gonna KO that thing. Torment, that's very frustrating. A Grass Knot's probably not gonna KO it, to be honest. How frustrating. Now it's got Salak Berry. And an Earthquake coming my way. That a lot better. Much better. I'm going to Fire Punch because obviously he's going to heal. And then it should... The Grass Knot afterwards will then do enough. I hope he sends in the... I really hope I just used Grass Knot. I did, good. I hope he sends in that Seismitoad soon because, oh, yeah, of course I get a critical hit then. Alright, Seismitoad, perfect. Perfect. I want to heal right now. The Earthquake is not going to do nearly as much as a Hydro Pump. This thing will not be outspeeding me. How much is that going to do? Oh, that's fine. Alright, we're going to get Reflect back up. And then I will use a Grass Knot followed by a Zen Headbutt, but because this thing's got a Rindo Berry, so it's going to survive it. I'm thinking that I may go for a Moo Moo Milk just before. I need a Hyper Potion. Do I have a Hyper Potion? No, I don't. Alright, well I think I'm going to stall this thing out for a little bit because I don't really want to be taking any risks with that Excadrill hanging around. And considering I want my Reflect to go up and then stay up for the Excadrill, which could come in next, but it might end up waiting for the Nidoking to come in first. That's frustrating. This may seem a little odd, but I'm going to heal again because I know my Reflect is going to wear off on the next turn. I don't have a PS3, FYI. Right, so that's perfect. I'm going to set the Reflect back up, go for the Grass Knot. We're at a great amount of health. I can easily take whatever Excadrill wants to throw at me, and a Fire Punch should knock it out. Right, here it comes now. Not using a ground type move, so I don't care about the air balloon. It's quicker, obviously, but I knew that. Yes, perfect. Even if this is not a one-hit KO, which is not, how frustrating, he can't. Oh shit! Oh, actually, it won't matter unless he heals, which he didn't. Ah, Reflector saved me. Alright, Jirachi, are you feeling lucky? One Pokemon, there's no way I'm able to heal for this. This thing will easily KO me even after a Moo Moo Milk. You feeling lucky? Let's do it. Torment. Lovely. Alright, well, I'm not going to be surviving an Earth Power from this thing. I'm really not. Tough position I'm stuck in here because I can't heal. I really need Hyper Potions. Why do I not have any? Okay, well this thing has Sheer Force, Life Orb, Earth Power, which is also going to be Stab, and it's obviously going to KO me. Well, there's not much else I can do at this stage. Ice Beam. Okay. I'm still thinking that that is going to KO me. What is going to do more? Fire Punch. You're not going to be able to take that. No way. So that stupid Torment. If it hadn't have been for Torment, I could have swept. So is it like I'm as much need to go for any other move? Well, I did say from the get-go that this would be the hardest gym. I wasn't lying. I need Hyper Potions, I really do. If I can't buy any Hyper Potions, then I'm going to get some of that herbal stuff, because Moo Moo Milks are just not cutting it when you've got a base 100 HP Pokemon. I still don't think that Jirachi would have been able to live. I don't think he would have been able to live an Earth Power twice. I really don't think he would have been able to. Yeah, should have Pokemon Centered in Drift Fail beforehand. Ah, frustrating. Right, well we have some Hyper Potions now. yeah, sorry C2 Buck, if you're still there, I am using no cache Zuma as Livesmith pointed out. Right, so that's frustrating. The problem is I need that Fire Punch for that stupid Excadrill. I mean, it's not really like it matters. As long as I can 2-hit KO it, it doesn't really matter. But the Fire Punch will end up being 150 power. And the Zen Headbutt is only going to be about 60. So a Zen Headbutt is not going to 2-hit KO. So we just got to try again. It was simply the one factor of that fight that made me lose was the Torment. Oh, I keep doing that. Up here is where I need to go. Alright, well I keep forgetting to read out moves, so I may as well do that as I go along, if I remember, which I probably won't. Alright, once again, here we go. This stupid thing. I don't have Ice Punch because I don't need it. Hippowdon is weak to Grass Knot. Golurk is weak to Grass Knot. Nidoking is weak to Zen Headbutt. Crocodile is weak to Grass Knot, and Ice Punch wouldn't do any more. Seismitoad is weak to Grass Knot, and Excadrill is weak to Fire Punch. So Ice Punch is not doing me any more good, and the Reflect is crucial to be able to live Excadrill's Earthquake. So I don't need Ice Punch right now. I did have it, but I put Reflect on because of how much that Hippowdon's thingy was doing. I wonder if the level difference means that I'm going to actually be able to one-hit KO this thing this time. Please one-hit KO it. I can't get tormented. Ah! I really hate this stupid thing. Right. Fine. Do the Earthquake. That did way too much. Okay, he's going to heal. I've got to get the Reflect up now. If he's doing that much with Earthquake, I need to get the Reflect up. Is it possible to catch wild shiny Pokemon? Generally, or in this game? Unless he crits me, there's no way he can survive this. Who did he go into next? He went into Seismitoad next, didn't he? Alright. Unless this thing wants to crit me, which he didn't, then I'm fine. That suddenly did a lot less damage. So frustrating. Right, let's Hyper Potion. Whoops, 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 whoops. Hyper Potion. I hope that I don't have to heal as much this time. In this game, you get given a Shiny Charm when you get to Castelia City instead of the Bicycle, which you get in Vespertia City. So, yes, it is possible to catch wild shiny Pokemon. Still thinking this thing is going to try and torment me. I'm going to go for the safe Fire Punch. Yes, I knew you would do that, you stupid little thing. Right, I've got to be tactical with my move choices here. Right, Golurk had Earthquake, Shadow Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch. Crocodile had Earthquake, Stone Edge, Crunch, and that stupid Torment. Right, we're into Seismitoad. Obviously this thing is taking a Grass Knot. I can take the Hydro Pump, no problem. Reflect is worn off, I can still take a crit Hydro Pump, so I'm going to put that Reflect back up. I'm now going to heal, and then I will go straight for the Grass Knot. Because he's going to go straight into that Excadrill, and I don't need to be using Fire Punch against that thing. But I think I will finish up with Grass Knot after what happened last time. Yeah, I used Reflect last time, so we're good. Oh, I've just thought of something. I don't know how many turns of Reflect I still have. I hope it's 2. Alright, Sword Stance. That is annoying, but provided my Reflect stays up, I can still take it. Yes! That was the perfect time for that to happen. Well done, Jirachi. Perfect. Absolutely perfect time for Serene Grace to kick in right there. And Nidoking. I'm safe to go for Zen Headbutt, and it should one-hit KO. If not, an Earth Power is going to really hurt. There we go. Perfect. That was the perfect time for that burn to strike. Absolutely perfect. Well done, Jirachi. Took 3 tries, but we finally got there. Well, my Reflect did stay up, so I would have still been able to take that Sword Stance boosted Earthquake. And if it had gone for another one, then so what? I wouldn't have taken any damage in the first place. And obviously, then I was still at enough health to take on the Nidoking, provided I didn't miss. Which at that point I did not, but obviously you can never count on something like Zen Headbutt. Right, so now I need to do some move switching. I need Ice Punch back, I need Iron Head, and I need Psychic back. But yeah, following on from what you said, I don't really mind about the challenging factor of the regular Black and White 2. I play Blaze Black 2 more now because I just like how varied it is. You get so many different Pokemon, and a lot of the weaker Pokemon have gotten much boosted stats, which is a horribly worded sentence. But it means that the Pokemon are, like, all Pokemon are viable now. Even like Pokemon which I wouldn't even bother with normally get awesome. They get really, really good. So at that point you don't even need to worry about what Pokemon you're using. And because of the move tutors, you can learn some great moves as well. Right, Iron Head. I absolutely need this. Gonna get rid of Zen Headbutt. I don't need that anymore. It would have been nice to interchange that and Psychic, but now I've got Iron Head, I don't need to do that. I just want to attack from both sides of the spectrum, in case I have to run into a physically defensive thing, like Alamomola, or Donphan, I guess. Right. So we have Ice Punch back, and then obviously this is cutting down into my coverage, but so what, Iron Head is too valuable of a move. And then we need to jump into this building and get ourselves... oh no, it's not you, is it? I've got to go to the Pokémon tournament. You give Heart Scales, I'm on the right track. You give Heart Scales. This is where I need to go. Here we are. This is where I need to be. Yes, a move should be relearned, and I want Psychic. Get rid of Grass Knot, I don't need that anymore. Literally needed it for that gym. I may possibly get Energy Ball, well I will get Energy Ball later on. I may take that for the 8th gym, in fact I almost certainly will. So we'll see. Oh, this is what I needed 3 Pokemon for. I needed 3 Pokemon to get into the Pokemon tournament. Now I remember. Okay, so Pokemon tournament, I'm going to sail through here, considering all of the Pokemon are level 25 and they haven't been edited in any way. So yeah, this is not going to be any trouble whatsoever. But yeah, we should be good. Oops. Obviously Millennium is going to be first because he is the Pokemon I'm using. Alright, well obviously fixed against the Pokemon, the people we're fighting against. This is absolutely no different main games version. Pokemon the same level, same Pokemon you're fighting. So there's no difference here. All the Pokemon are level 25. Easy peasy. Just have some opportunity for some cool music and some absolute arse whooping, really. Alright, water fighting, Mr. Samurott. By Brava. I guess in the grand scheme of things, my coverage is not that bad. I mean, I don't technically have anything to fight rock types with. It's not exactly like it matters. He doesn't evolve at a level, he evolves when he's happy enough. So if you just keep training with Riolu, keep running a lot, don't let it faint. Yeah, they're all fixed at level 25 in Pokemon World Tournament. That's not hacking, it's just that's what happens. For some reason, I don't know why, because I'm 52. Their levels are fixed, but mine aren't. So yeah, it will evolve when it's happy enough with you, and it must be during the day. If it's not during the day, it won't evolve. You don't really need it to evolve before the first gym, really. The first gym is not that difficult, trust me. It can get quite difficult, but provided you've got two capable Pokemon, you shouldn't have too much trouble. Speak of the first gym leader, here we are. Alright, Cheren, let's do this. Now you all noticed how that Stoutland did not have Intimidate. Well, keep that in the back of your mind, because soon it will magically gain it. Oh, I just love sweeping with my Jirachi. Easy peasy. How long did that take? 30 seconds? You're supposed to be a gym leader, Cheren. How come your Pokemon are so low? Alright, Internet Explorer here, let's do this. You were annoying before. Shouldn't be too bad now, however. Especially considering I know what Pokemon you're using. Alright. Are you gonna have Sturdy? I really hope not. Because all you're going to do is Thunder Wave, you're not going to do anything else that's constructive. Oh, Thunder Shock. Thank you very much for actually doing something that doesn't result in me tearing hair out. Right. Clink. And he's going to have LGM as well. I used an LGM the first time I ever went through White 2. It's a really, really underrated Pokemon. It's so powerful and it's actually pretty bulky. I did think about possibly using Reuniclus instead, but I do kind of regret not using Reuniclus, because I think I prefer Reuniclus, but yeah, it's still a cool Pokemon. Very underrated. Yeah, Espeon Magic Bounce is cool. I will go out on a limb here and say that I do actually prefer Xatu as a Pokemon and as a Magic Bouncer. Obviously Espeon is better, but I still prefer Xatu. Speaking of which, my Jirachi could actually have Magic Bounce. Luckily it does not. It has Serene Grace, which is a much better ability for it. But it's still pretty good. If I was Ash Ketchum, I would be a little less annoying, because he is such a frustrating little insert what do you like there. However, no, I don't think I would evolve Pikachu, because I do prefer Pikachu to Raichu. Regardless of that, however, I don't really like either Pokemon that much. I mean, it makes sense that Pikachu is the it makes sense that it's the mascot of the franchise, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. I don't like Pikachu that much. It's far too frail, it's not fast enough, who cares about Light Ball? And attempts to make it viable is just ridiculous, it doesn't do anything that's worthwhile. This cosplay thing that's going to come in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire could be interesting. I'll see, you know, may as well have a look. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Pikachu, if I'm honest. I do quite like Pichu, I will be honest. Pichu is quite cute, especially the spiky eared one that you got in Heart Gold. I really like that. That was cool. But generally, as a rule of thumb, I don't like them, not at all. Anyway, back to Team Plasma here. Thanks to Mr. Clay, I am now far too over-leveled, but regardless, obviously not going to have any trouble now, am I? I'm going to become less over-leveled as things go on because of the way that the experience works in this game. That's a good thing, to be honest. Ah, Zangoose. Such a cool Pokemon. I think if I ever went through, I'm planning at some point to possibly go through like Pokemon Ruby or something, and I plan to go through that with just a Zangoose, because Zangoose is one of the coolest Hoenn Pokemon there is. It's not my favourite Hoenn Pokemon by far, but it's such an amazing Pokemon. I love it so much, and I had Ruby, but I lost it. I ended up playing Sapphire because I had both, and then I lost Ruby, had Sapphire, and then I got Emerald, and then I lost Sapphire. But yeah, so I never really got access to Zangoose because I had a link cable, but I didn't have it when I had Ruby. Yeah, people always go on about how the Neoplasma theme is not nearly as good. I prefer the Black 2 theme, to be honest. I think it's much better than the Black and White 1 one. I prefer them as like this pirate kind of thing, pirate ninjas, whatever they are, because it makes a little more sense. Like, I didn't ever like those weird space-ish costumes that they had on in Black and White 1. I felt like they were copying Team Galactic. They just look kind of spacey, but just not spacey enough, so they just kind of stood out like a sore thumb, and I didn't like them at all. I mean, the only character of Team Plasma that I actually liked was N. N's cool, but you know, apart from that, I mean, what? It was just, I didn't ever think that the Black and White 1 story was that fantastic. Squire's fine. Still not a big fan. But, yeah, I didn't ever bother. P-Love is not worth a catch, really. Unless you want to complete your Pokédex, I wouldn't bother. Azurill, on the other hand, is a good Pokemon, but it will evolve into a Water type, and you already have one, so you don't need to. So yeah, I would both of them say miss. Don't bother. There's a time when I wish I had Zen Headbutt, but I'm leveled enough that I should be able to one-hit KO that thing. Good. I don't know, maybe I'm not human. I do wonder myself sometimes. Whoops. Okay. 6 Pokemon, joy of joys. Actually got a competent Pokemon to back me up here. That Garbodor needs to go. What else you got? Wheezing and Victory Bell. Cool. I'm going to go for Psychic against the Victory Bell because I think that Samurot's going to do better against the Wheezing. It does suck, but from a business point of view, you can see why they did it. I mean, it's not exactly like that many people were still using it. They probably experienced a higher proportion of people using it when they announced they were going to get rid of it. But, really? But, yeah, it wasn't... Nobody used it enough for them to justify keeping it much longer. So it does suck, I agree, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it was a good idea. That was a great time to miss there, Samurott. Well, it does make sense. I mean, to be honest, if you don't have a 3DS or a Wii U at this stage, you're missing out. If you're a Nintendo fan and you haven't got one of those systems, you are missing out because they are great systems. I haven't got a Wii U personally, but I will be getting one relatively soon. But a 3DS is definitely worth the money you pay for it. Definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Mario Kart Wii. I do think I prefer Mario Kart Wii to Mario Kart 7. Then again, I haven't got Mario Kart 8, so there we go. But oh well, it's fine. Mario Kart Wii is still technically playable if you want to play in-game, but obviously not everyone wants to do that. Okay. I'm going to skip out on the Relic Passage because it's not somewhere I really need to go. There's the TM4 Focus Blast in there, but I don't think Jirachi can learn it, and even if he can, it's not something I need at all. I definitely don't need it, as Jirachi will soon be able to learn... not soon, why did I say soon? Will be able to learn... what's it called? Drain Punch, that's the move I'm thinking of. Humolo City, which is good enough for me. I don't think I'll ever, to be honest, keep that have that move, but it may come in useful. Alright, so there's not anything else I really need to do. Route 6 is the next stop, but as you can see, Mr. Norman here is standing at the top here, so I'm going to give him a fight. Why not? And then I think I will end the stream. I don't think I'm going to carry on, I apologise, because my voice really hurts. Well, my throat hurts. However, there are plenty of videos on my YouTube channel, feel free to watch them, and if you've missed previous parts of my Jirachi solo run, they're on YouTube, all ready to go. Got a full in-game LP of Black 2, doing aftergame at the moment. Also got full LP of both Fire Red and Platinum, and a half-complete one of Emerald. Don't know when I'm going to restart that, but it'll come. And yeah, I will be back to streaming tomorrow. So, if you're around, subscribe to me on Twitch, subscribe to me on YouTube, and you'll soon see me online, I guarantee it. Alright, Zangoose. I am very surprised that my thingy just managed to take down that slacking in one shot. Very surprised, very impressed. Oh, and Kecleon as well. Any more? Oh, there's one more. Ironhead should KO. Now, what have you got? Oh, Fake Out. Ugh. Wow, that did a very solid amount of damage, didn't it? Silly Kecleon. Alright, so looking for Pokemon who can learn Surf, Waterfall and Dive. There's a huge amount of Pokemon. Pretty much any water type I need, really. I should be able to catch one on the next route. Yeah, I agree, they're going to be cool games. Very cool. I have vowed to use Zangoose. I have vowed to use Zangoose, it is happening. But yeah, so I catch whatever water type I want on the next area. And then I'll have a Pokemon with Surf, Waterfall and Dive. But yeah, so if you are wanting more Houndoom, then feel free to flock over to my YouTube channel. There is stuff awaiting, and this stream will be soon up there. If you want more streaming, then I'll be up tomorrow around about the same time, possibly a bit earlier. But yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, thanks for being around, and see you tomorrow.